which generate such an amazing amount of passion and feeling. It's nearly 30 years since Celtic's last European semi-final. They lost to Atletico Madrid that time in the semi-finals of the European Cup. It was back in 1974. Can the record books be rewritten at Anfield tonight? Seems like sacrilege, doesn't it, to talk over the You'll Never Walk Alone anthem, and Gerrard will have some thoughts starting inside him, because it's almost exactly a year ago since his return to Anfield after heart surgery. That night, Celtic beat Roma 2-0 in the Champions League. Here is the Liverpool side for tonight. One change from Celtic Park. El Hadj Diouf has been dropped and banned and whatever else after his spitting image hung over that first leg. Czech international Vladimir Smicer takes Diouf's place. Liverpool looking for the sort of control they had for much of the first match, Sandy.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very strong Liverpool team, no question about that. And I feel that if Celtic are going to progress, then they have to stop the goal threat of Michael Owen and Emil Heskey.
So that's the Liverpool formation. Let's have a look at the Celtic side. Two changes from the first leg. One, of course, is forced on Martin O'Neill. Chris Sutton's broken wrist keeps him out. Stilian Petrov returns to the starting lineup. And Jamie Smith, who played at Celtic Park against Liverpool and in the CIS final on Sunday, is dropped. Momo Sylla plays at right wing back, and that's his first start in a month.
Martin O'Neill had one decision to make. That was who would play right wing back. Momo Sylla certainly got the nod tonight. And I just wonder how Liverpool will cope with 100% match fit Henrik Larsson. Hopefully he'll do the business again tonight for Celtic.
Rob Douglas has become a big player for Celtic in big matches. Looks to have conquered his early nerves. German referee takes charge here. It's Marcus Merck. Henrik Larsson, 2 goals in 2 games since returning from his broken jaw, and there's another prolific scorer as well. Michael Owen looking to beat Roger Hunt's record of 20 European goals. And if what happens on the pitch reflects what happens off it, we should be in for an unforgettable 90 minutes. And of course, we should bear in mind it might be more than 90 minutes. If these two were to finish here 1-1, we will be talking extra time and possibly penalties after that. Keep taking the tablets. John Arne Riise, who was influential in the first game, carved out the goal for Emil Heskey, which has given Liverpool the edge going into this one. Having scored in Glasgow, they will now see themselves as favourites to finish the job in front of Sven-Göran Eriksson, the England manager, and quite a lot of other VIPs in the stands as well. Riise's free kick. Momo Sylla jumped for the header, flicked on by Neil Lennon. Good strength from John Hartson, and well, the free kick goes against the Celtic striker and in Jimmy Traore's favour.
I can't believe that. It's just a physical challenge, and John Hartson really upset with that decision from the German referee.
That's a brilliant long pass from Steven Gerrard. Didn't quite come off. Riise, who played against Rangers for Monaco a couple of years back in the Champions League, and he's hobbling around after his first challenge of the match, and that's an immediate concern. Lennon plays it out wide for Sylla. First touch not too clever, and that made him hurry the second touch.
He looks just a little bit nervous, Momo Sylla. Lots of responsibility on his shoulders tonight. He's a type of person, the character who can handle the atmosphere. I'm going to say it's a cracking atmosphere, isn't it?
That's Smicer looking to make the most of one of his rare outings in the top team for Liverpool. That's good play initially from Alan Thompson, but he had Danny Murphy snapping at his heels. Michael Owen. Gerrard switches it from right to left. Now Riise. It's another good run, reminiscent to the run which brought about the goal in Glasgow. This time he's stopped before he can do any damage. Mjallby for Hartson. Great turn from John Hartson away from Traore. Stopped by Hyypia. Larsson wanted the pass. Celtic, who started so well in the first leg. Lambert. Petrov. Good challenge from the skipper Hyypia. Smicer. Michael Owen. Caught by Johan Mjallby. After he'd knocked the ball downfield, and that's going to be a yellow card early on for the Celtic defender.
I don't think you can blame the referee, Rob. Johan Mjallby, no chance of getting the ball there. Michael Owen, he read the tackle and knew it was coming. It was the high hurdles to go over Mjallby's leg, otherwise it could have been a sore one for him. But no complaints there. Certainly deserved yellow.
He had problems against the pace of Peter Lovenkrands on Sunday at Hampden, and Michael Owen was too quick for him there. And you don't want to be booked after 3 minutes in this sort of intense situation where you're going to have to make some more challenges. Danny Murphy with the free kick. Balde won the header. Flicked further clear by Petrov. Gerrard, clever pass through to Hamann. Jimmy Carragher, a survivor of the Liverpool side which played Celtic 5.5 years ago. 2-2 at Celtic Park that time, 0-0 here, and that was enough to get Liverpool through that time.
I'm just watching Liverpool, Rob, the early part of the game. They're a big, strong team who pass the ball very well. They're not giving Celtic any time in the ball whatsoever. They're closing them down all over the park, and it's going to be that type of game. It's going to be a high-tempo match.
Hamann's header. Balde's there, and Lennon. Gerrard on the half volley. Michael Owen gets his head to it. Smicer tries to get it down. Owen again. Riise away from Lambert, but he overrun it. Petrov intercepted, and now Henrik Larsson. Scored after a little more than 100 seconds of the first leg, Larsson. And a good quick reaction after he fell to charge down the clearance from Hyypia.
Good play from Larsson down the right hand side, looks sharp. He's very unfortunate here. He makes the challenge, just slips here, loses his footing as much as anything else. Certainly not a free kick.
Good challenge from German international Hamann, who of course played in the World Cup final last summer. Petrov, good touch. Hartson holds it up, sets up Lennon. Carragher intercepts the pass, which was aimed for Thompson. And now Thompson has to get himself back. The Liverpool attack is halted, and that's off Carragher, and Celtic's throw. Nearly 6 minutes gone at Anfield. 1-1 from last week. Larsson for Celtic, and Heskey for Liverpool. Delicately poised. Gerrard's pass, well seen and well dealt with by Jos Valgaeren. Alan Thompson given no time on the ball. So Liverpool working hard at closing down. Sylla, good change of direction, change of pace away from Smicer. Good ball for John Hartson, but the flag is up against him, and don't mention offside to John Hartson at the moment. He was wrongly flagged, he felt, on Sunday in the CIS final.
This one's very tight as well. Good play from Sylla, a decent ball, and I would say he's certainly onside when the ball's played, and the assistant referee in the near side I think he's got that wrong again. He's due a break. Hartson eventually will get one in his favour.
John Hartson applauding the quality of the ball from Sylla. Murphy with the reverse pass for Owen. Good flick, but Johan Mjallby read it and stops it going behind for the corner. Michael Owen, an obvious threat and an immediate threat here to Celtic. Liverpool enjoying a lot of possession. Steven Gerrard. Good challenge from Lennon. Played into the feet of Michael Owen, and the Celtic midfielder very sharp, very quick and very decisive.
You had to be there, Rob. Michael Owen's picking up a lot of space, finding a lot of space inside the Celtic 18-yard box.
Kicked in by Heskey. The up and under from Gerrard. Out comes Rob Douglas. Good take. That's a confidence builder for the keeper.
Easy one for the goalkeeper. Good first touch from him. Big grab.
Great touch from Stillian. Petrov got there before Hamann. Caught by the German. Free kick but no yellow.
That's a strange one. He's certainly very late. Good sharpness, nice and bright from Stillian Petrov. Hamann just catched him a fraction late. Acknowledges the offence right away.
Mjallby booked for the late challenge. Hamann gets away with it. Sylla. Good challenge from Smicer. Valgaeren. Now it's Larsson. Look at the number of red shirts between Celtic and Jerzy Dudek. And look how they're pushing out, pushing towards the ball, cutting down the amount of time Celtic have. Thompson's delivery for the head of Hartson. It's well won by Riise. Petrov for Lennon. Over Balde, who was a big presence in the first leg. Lambert. Larsson made the run and looking for a free kick, but he was quickly back up, Henrik Larsson, and Martin O'Neill frustrated that he's not given the chance of a set piece early on and a chance to get the big boys forward.
I think Henrik Larsson knew himself there. There's no way the referee was going to award a free kick. Decent run from Larsson. They really couldn't collect the ball on the way through.
Martin O'Neill hasn't lost at Anfield. 3 wins and a draw here as Leicester City manager. It's a good omen if you're looking for omens. Hyypia's pass, Heskey's flick. Danny Murphy played with the outside of the foot. For Smicer, it's away from Douglas and it's knocked off the line by Johan Mjallby. Michael Owen was almost there. Terrific set-up work from Smicer. That was a very dangerous ball. It's Liverpool who are looking likely to break the deadlock here after an impressive opening to this match. Emil Heskey. Valgaeren. Celtic under pressure.
Good run from Smicer. We'll say here it's a decent pass and he's on his bike, leaving Paul Lambert for dead, and it's a good ball across with Johan Mjallby. Covered really well, doing his job in the centre, read the situation and cleared the danger.
Right place, right time, the Swedish international. Heskey the target. Emil Heskey again, that's an offside flag. And against Jamie Carragher.
He's certainly offside. It's a poor run from Carragher. It's a very naive run. He can only be offside when he gets into that area.
Gerrard Houllier knows that this, in recent times, has been a good spell of the season for Liverpool. 2 years ago, an ordinary season was transformed in the spring, and they went on to win 3 cup competitions, including this UEFA Cup. John Hartson wins a free kick. Carragher is penalised. Balde pushing forward to the edge of the area. Mjallby stays back, and John Hartson an obvious threat as well at this set piece. In from Thompson, up goes Balde. And lots of time at the edge of the area for Hamann to get the ball clear. Good interception by Alan Thompson. And he'll feel that's a waste.
That's a chance, Rob. He snatched at it. Alan Thompson does incredibly well, you'll see here, just to nick this ball as it comes forward. But this is where he panics. Hold on to the ball, take a touch, find a pass across the 6-yard box, and it would be a real chance for Celtic. But really just panicked a little bit as much as anything else here.
I think, to be fair to Alan Thompson, he knew that immediately. Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United, the only English club through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League, alongside PFA man Gordon Taylor there in the stand. Will Liverpool join Manchester United in marching forward in the European competitions? Or will it be Celtic in tomorrow's draw in Switzerland for the semi-finals? Lazio, Panathinaikos, Malaga, Besiktas, Porto, Boavista, all contenders for semi-final places. Good flick from Owen. Here's Murphy, appealing for a handball. Neil Lennon plays it away to Momo Sylla. Petrov for Larsson. The reverse pass for Momo Sylla gets in behind John-Arne Riise. Sylla's cross is played in hope. Nobody there for Celtic. Liverpool look to counter with an attack of their own. Smicer against Mjallby. So elusive Vladimir Smicer. He almost dusted through that gap between Lambert and Mjallby, but he's kicked out.
Good play from Smicer, committing people again as he's driving forward down that left side. He certainly caused Celtic some early problems. But decent game, end-to-end stuff so far.
And Celtic with the lion's share of the possession. Gerrard's cross, and that is miscued by Balde, but it should be a throw.
I think the referee's getting the corner kick. See Bobo Balde there. I think there was contact made with his hand, but it's certainly accidental. I don't think there's any way you can award a penalty kick there against a big man.
No penalty, but it is a corner. Danny Murphy cuts it back for Hamann. It's wide. Thankfully for Celtic.
It's a good corner kick. It's off the training ground. Good dummy. Hamann knew exactly what was happening. Makes a great connection with the ball. I think Momo Sylla would have covered it if it had been sneaking inside the post. But that's a good effort. Sylla would have saved it if it was on target.
Celtic taken by surprise there?
Certainly. It's off the training ground, Rob. They have to be aware. They have to have someone on the edge of the box to deal with that type of situation.
The good thing for Celtic was it was Hamann, who's scored only 7 times in nearly 4 years with the club, so he's not prolific. Larsson quick with the free kick. Thompson. Lennon and Lambert, the boiler house for Celtic. Alan Thompson lucky to get away with a misplaced pass. Here he is again. It's Celtic's throw.
Good play from Thompson. I tell you what, as a team, Liverpool work exceptionally hard. Lots of red jerseys round about Thompson there, giving him no room, no space to play a pass.
Valgaeren's throw. Larsson's header away by Traore. Lennon. And I was speaking about Didi Hamann's scoring record. Well, Neil Lennon hasn't scored for Celtic since December 2001. So maybe Liverpool felt fairly safe there when he had a crack from long range as well.
But it was an effort from Neil Lennon. And don't forget, Celtic have to score a goal tonight. They're going to progress, and the more efforts they get on target, the more efforts they get at goal, the more chance they've got to stick in the ball in the back of the net.
Dudek's kick out and Balde's header. That was Hamann. Up goes Petrov, but it's Hamann who wins that tussle. Let's hear from the voice of the technical area, Chick.
Martin O'Neill actually has been very quiet in the first quarter of an hour or so, Rob, but I have to say that he's been forced to sit in the dugout, which doesn't suit him totally. It's a very bizarre situation at Anfield where the coaches are side by side with the opposing teams, but he has been telling his team to stay calm. He said to me before the kick-off, as long as they don't lose a goal, the balance is very much with Celtic. If it's 0-0 85 minutes, he thinks that's going to be a great situation for Celtic to go forward.
Danny Murphy gave it away for Liverpool. Celtic in possession with Momo Sylla. I always think about Momo Sylla that he really doesn't know what he's going to do next, so whoever's marking him doesn't have a hope.
The only problem he has, Rob, if he tries that type of situation in the wrong area of the field, if he loses the ball, they're under pressure.
Paul Lambert has time to look up and play a pass for Henrik Larsson. Support from Sylla. Larsson again. Flicked on by Petrov, but the flag goes up for offside.
That one certainly looked very tight as well. Still in Petrov again, getting forward. Just when it's played to you, yeah, we'll give the assistant referee the benefit of the doubt that time.
He was just nipping around the back of Sami Hyypia there, wasn't he?
Trying to steal a yard of space and maybe try to come back onside.
Nearly 18 minutes gone then. Liverpool 0, Celtic 0. It's 1-1 overall. And the prize is a place in the last 4 of this UEFA Cup competition. John Hartson's layoff for Australian Petrov. Alan Thompson. Neil Lennon screaming for it, gets it. Now Petrov skipping away from the challenge of Jimmy Traore, who'd committed himself, and Petrov's won the free kick.
It's good play from Celtic. Good passing, combination of passes. Larsson involved. Lennon that time to Petrov, and Traore just catches his leg there. Stops him collecting the ball, so referee again correct with the decision.
Jimmy Traore, who was on loan at Lens in France last year, just 23, 2 yellows against him, so another one. He'll miss the next match if there is a next match this season. The infiltrator in the wall is Jos Valgaeren. 19 minutes played. Henrik Larsson's free kick produces an athletic stop from Dudek.
It's a good effort from Henrik Larsson. It's on target, it's so important to make the goalkeeper work. Dudek, I think, made it look better than it actually was there.
I think it was one for the snappers. Valgaeren's throw. Just there, Jimmy Carragher. And a raised boot means a Celtic free kick against Danny Murphy.
I don't think Murphy can have any complaints there. It's a high boot, and as soon as that happens, continental referee is going to award the free kick.
Larsson's free kick foiled. Celtic try again. In from Paul Lambert, and the header from John Hartson. Still hurting after his penalty miss at Hampden, and a chance to give Celtic the lead.
It's a good free kick, and Hartson is so aggressive in the air. He's so unlucky there. Gets a yard of space, works hard to find that space, and just couldn't get above the ball enough to get it on target. But this is the earlier one, Henrik Larsson. There's not a lot of pace in the ball. Dudek for me could have held that one, but Celtic won't be complaining. But it's on target, that's important.
I think Jerzy Dudek was checking with the photographers behind his goal before making that save from Larsson. But it was a decent free kick, it was very much on target. That's well played by Johan Mjallby. That looked sure to be heading behind for a corner kick. It did so well to stretch out. It's a Liverpool throw.
I think this may be a long one, Rob. This will be similar to a corner kick.
The ball's disappeared, it's up John Arne Riise's jersey for drying purposes, you understand. Riise's throw looking for Hyypia. John Hartson's there, powers it away. Gerrard! Brilliant shot by Steven Gerrard. And Rob Douglas was a match for him.
It certainly was. It's like Dudek, anything you can do, I can do better. Big grab. You won't see much of this one till later on, but gets 2 hands to it. That's not spectacular, that's a really good save, no messing about from Big grab.
Terrific technique from Gerrard to drill that shot down. Murphy's corner kick, short for Riise. And it goes wide, sliced off the outside of his left boot.
It's a decent effort again, it's from the corner kick from Liverpool. I think Martin O'Neill has to get these players and say, be aware at set pieces, this is the first shot. But Murphy catches it really well.
Gerrard
Yeah, Gerrard, sorry. Big grab, 2 hands to the ball.
Solidly behind it, Rob Douglas. Now what about things tactical? What's Martin O'Neill reckoning of the opening stages, Chick?
Just the reaction to that, Robbie. He's unhappy about the ball being hurled in from the throw-ins, of course, the corner kicks coming in, that shot from Gerrard, and he's asked Petrov to pick up at the edge of the 18-yard box and watch for the runs coming on. So we'll watch for more movement from Petrov picking on the players coming onto the ball for Liverpool.
Yeah, there was a big scare early on, wasn't there, when Hamann had that shot wide, and then Gerrard, who's much more likely to score if you give him any time and any chance to strike it.
I think Martin O'Neill's right, Rob. He's got to get to the City Ace. He's got to get to his players and say, let's have a look, let's be aware, let's anticipate Liverpool set pieces. They're certainly working hard at the training ground, and they've had 1 or 2 decent efforts in the early part of the match.
Hartson won the header. Henrik Larsson tries to keep it in and does, gets there before Carragher. That tells you all you need to know about Henrik Larsson's appetite for this game, and there's no way he was going to let that run. Well, and Thompson has picked up quite a few knocks in recent games. Valgaaren's throw. Larsson tried to flick it on. There's the right back Carragher. Launches it. Lennon's there. It's Danny Murphy. Hartson jumps for the header, but bags of time for Hyypia to drive it clear, the skipper. Under the bouncing ball, Riise. That's good attacking of the ball from Paul Lambert. Balde nods it down, but nods it down for Michael Owen. There's the nutmeg. Owen's away, off and running into the danger area. Michael Owen cuts it back, and it's wide from Heskey. A real chance for Liverpool.
That's certainly a little from Celtic's point of view. Marvellous play from Michael Owen. Knows exactly what he's about here. It's a nutmeg. He's on his bike. He shows real pace. Lifts his head here. Plays the ball into the danger area. This is where Heskey gets the break first of all, but doesn't get the break when he turns to try to fire at home.
The pace of Owen is hard for any defender to deal with. Away from Balde. It was Petrov who got the touch on the ball. It dropped for Heskey. It was the turn and hit. Thankfully for Celtic it went wide.
He's so quick, Rob. As soon as he gets on the ball, sees a yard or 2 of space in front of him, he's onto it and he's away.
Good running from midfield from Gerrard, looking to play the early ball into the box, and that was well cut out by Neil Lennon. Flipped on by Murphy. Mjallby plays it, realising Michael Owen was in behind him. Chipped in by Carragher for Owen. Got his head to it, and Paul Lambert knocks it behind for a corner kick.
Good play again from Michael Owen. He's not the biggest in the world, but I tell you what, he's a nuisance. He doesn't give defenders a minute's peace.
Hyypia stations himself right in front of Rob Douglas. The left foot of John Arne Riise. Heskey's there, blocked by Douglas. Fired away by Lennon, and it's the Celtic keeper who grabs it before it goes behind. Celtic living dangerously.
It's another set piece, Rob. That's the concern again. Emil Heskey got his head to that one. I think it's John Hartson that's picking him up. If you watch Hartson, he gives him too much room here. He wins the header well at the back post, and Big Rab managed to keep out with his backside as much as anything else. But you see Heskey getting the run on Hartson. It takes a deflection off John Hartson. Brad Douglas doing well.
And good quick reactions from Neil Lennon as well to force it out of that danger area. Carragher, Gerrard, it's away from Hamann. Onto it, it's Riise. Overrun it. Good interception by Paul Lambert, but that's heading out. A spell of concerted pressure from Liverpool, although the match has been swinging to both ends. Petrov for Thompson, good pass. Henrik Larsson. John Hartson! Big chance for Hartson.
He's so unfortunate. It's a great move from Celtic. Marvellous ball to Larsson. That's a magnificent ball into the box. And John Hartson getting on the end of it again. Hartson is a real threat in the air tonight. Winning most of the balls in there. Just can't get this one on target. Gets above the ball. Just a bit unfortunate.
And by his standards, this is a disappointment, a big disappointment for Hartson. He had time to size up the header and he steered it wide. He wants to be hitting the target from that sort of range and set up with that sort of service. So it's a match of various chances so far, none taken. Celtic have a free kick and Steven Gerrard doesn't like it.
I don't think he can complain. Good play from useful Hamann driving forward again.
Well, maybe that's the reason for complaining, because he did get the ball first.
He certainly got the ball and got his legs tangled with useful Hamann at the same time. The referee maybe didn't get a great angle at that one.
Celtic will look to cash in on Marcus Merck's decision. Balde up, Sylla in the box as well, and Valgaeren alongside Larsson and Hartson. Lambert plays it in, and it's beyond Balde. Couldn't get to it. Hyypia was keeping him out.
Good defending from Hyypia. Bobo Balde is very aggressive in the air, as we know. Maybe in there just a little bit early, Bobo there. If he stays out a yard or two, he can maybe attack the ball just a little bit more aggressively.
These Liverpool fans certainly enjoying the month of March. Fortunes transformed since losing at Birmingham less than a month ago. They've beaten Auxerre home and away, drawn at Celtic Park, won the Worthington Cup against Manchester United in the final, and they've beaten Bolton, and of course they won at Tottenham last Sunday in the Premiership, and now looking to win a place in the Champions League again next season. Long ball from Valgaeren. Henrik Larsson putting lots of pressure on Jamie Carragher, but the free kick is given against him.
Henrik Larsson is so good at that. He's like Owen, puts defenders under pressure. That time, just a little nudge. The ball eventually go back to the goalkeeper anyway. I think the referee could maybe just have played advantage.
Jimmy Traore with the free kick aims at Emil Heskey. Mjallby won the header, and down from Petrov to Lennon. Lambert had to hurry. Alan Thompson with Danny Murphy at his back, sends it all the way back to Rob Douglas. Long for Hartson. Hyypia won the header. Across comes Neil Lennon, gets himself in front of Vladimir Smicer. And Sylla wants to impose himself more in the game. Since a couple of early flashes, we haven't seen too much of him. Well, he's imposed himself there late on Riise, and it's going to be a second yellow for Celtic.
It's certainly a free kick. I don't know if there's an awful lot in this. There's not an awful lot of contact, certainly a little bit, and a free kick's the right decision. But Riise is lying down there as if he's been poleaxed. For me, that's a bit of play acting from the Norwegian.
That's handbags at 10 paces, isn't it, really? Momo Sylla unfortunate to get a booking for that one, as Vladimir Smicer gets some close range instructions from Gerrard. The Celtic supporters looking for the sort of performance that Celtic gave at Ewood Park against Blackburn, when from 1-0 at Celtic Park it became a 3-0 aggregate victory against a team at the time in the top 10 of the English Premiership. It was a conclusive win. But they are up against top quality opposition in Liverpool, who look to be coming back to their best form. That's an offside against Murphy. Danny Murphy, who makes those runs so effectively from midfield.
He's a good player. Hyypia trying to find him there with a long ball. But just as you said there, Rob, Celtic have managed to do exceptionally well in the UEFA Cup, but this is their hardest test yet. This is the best team they've played in the competition. They're a very, very talented team who are big and aggressive and work so hard.
Celtic have beaten Blackburn and of course Celta Vigo and Stuttgart on the way. You watch them all on BBC Scotland, and again on the BBC. It's this quarter-final decider as El Hadj Diouf looks on, out of the spotlight this time, having grabbed all the headlines for all the wrong reasons. In the first game, spitting back into the Celtic support and winning himself no friends, not just in Glasgow but around the football world. Banned for a couple of games by UEFA, fined by Liverpool. It was disgraceful. Hamann's header. Heskey against Mjallby. Still, Petrov is hobbling around in the centre circle at the moment for Celtic. On the ball, Steven Gerrard. Such a talent, Gerrard, as he's demonstrated here already, and he did in Glasgow as well last week. As Celtic ran the show for long periods of time. Don't forget the man of the match number. You've heard already from Dougie about the prize, 0900 10 225. You could be heading for Vilnius to watch Scotland against Lithuania, and you could be going there complete with a mobile, state-of-the-art mobile, which has picture messaging among its functions, courtesy of Safeway. That's the big prize if your man of the match agrees with Sandy's later in the game. Played into the feet of Smicer. And again, Lennon's challenge forces it away. Carragher. Hamann over the top for Smicer. Balde in charge. Lambert's first there, but unable to keep the ball. And that will be a concern for Martin O'Neill. Smicer, the Czech Republic international. Gerrard to Murphy, two England internationals. John Hartson, the Welshman. And Henrik Larsson there, who of course is returning for Sweden against Hungary.
At the moment, Rob, Celtic can't keep possession of the ball. Every time they get the ball, they seem to give it away. Liverpool are working hard, keep probing, passing, and it's a spell where Celtic just have to hang in there.
And Liverpool looking much more comfortable on the ball.
Yeah, they're a good team, we keep saying that. They're all very comfortable, taking the ball, passing the ball, good pace about their team, so we knew they were a good team. They're proving it again tonight, but at 0-0 Celtic are still in there.
10 minutes away from half-time. Still goalless at Anfield. But it's an intriguing tussle between these two. Neither wants to make a mistake. That's a big factor in this as well. You don't want to be the man who makes a mistake and lets in the opposition. Good running from Momo Sylla. Great shot from Sylla, touched round the post by Jerzy Dudek. Terrific burst of pace from midfield.
Great play from Momo Sylla. He's so good at doing this, driving forward with the ball into the space. It's a decent effort, it's on target, and Dudek just gets enough to it to knock it round the post.
36 minutes and Celtic's first corner kick of the match. Balde and Mjallby having a quick consultation. It's Petrov. Hartson had a swing at it, Larsson deflected. And take two on the corner kick.
Good play from Henrik Larsson. Good corner kick from Celtic. Variation to the ball, and Henrik Larsson picking up the loose ball. His shot certainly on target. Good block from the Liverpool defender.
Yeah, Jimmy Carragher on the way. The right foot of still in Petrov. There's John Hartson, tries to nod it down for Sylla. Traore clears. And that's well done by Sylla. Lennon. Celtic looking to apply some more pressure. Lambert, Mjallby, and backheeled by Thompson, and Mjallby was not in the same wavelength. Hamann's pass shouldn't be too troublesome. Offside. And time flies in a game like this when you can't take your eyes off the pitch for a moment. 37.5 minutes played, and half-time approaches. Steven Gerrard's gone as close as anyone to breaking the deadlock with that pile driver of a right foot volley, which was saved by Rob Douglas. And there's a waste of a free kick from Jimmy Traore.
Just as you're saying, Rob, about the game, the pace of the game's incredible. Every one of those players out there are working so hard, and eventually the longer the game goes, that's when mistakes are likely to happen, because there's going to be a lot of tired legs.
What we do know, of course, is that Celtic will have to score here if they're to go through. 0-0, we've been Liverpool on their way. Hyypia's challenge on Thompson, and Celtic were looking for a penalty. Marcus Merck looking distinctly unimpressed, but that's well worth another look, and Alan Thompson certainly thinks so.
There's certainly contact made, no question. The referee's got a very, very good view of the incident.
Mjallby, beyond Hartson, headed away by Carragher. Gerrard, Owen, good header from Mjallby. Petrov back to Sylla. Well, Momo Sylla showed too much of that to Vladimir Smicer, who intercepted. That was casual on the ball from the Celtic wing-back. Emil Heskey's pass intercepted by Petrov. Good play from Celtic in that tightly packed midfield area. That wasn't out, and Larsson forces the throw off Traore.
That's great play from Henrik Larsson. It's just a hopeful ball from Thompson, but Larsson made it a good ball. This will be the penalty one. Good touch from Thompson. It's obstruction more than anything else. I don't think it's deliberate, but we've seen them given.
Valgaeren's throw. Larsson tries to flick it in, and Thompson again hurling himself towards the ball. Traore got just enough on it. Balde fouled. Obstruction by Smicer. He's a brave man. He obviously hasn't heard about Bobo's reputation.
You don't see that very often. Bobo Balde ended up on his backside.
"40 minutes gone. Still in Petrov. Fires it wide for Momo Sylla. That was all he could do. It was delivered at a fair old height. Mjallby hesitated as Owen bore down on him. Balde, Lambert and Lennon combine and exchange passes until one of them found a little bit of room, a little bit of time. Balde to Hartson, good hold-up work. For Lambert. Lennon scurrying around the midfield. Alan Thompson, Petrov and Larsson. Thompson chips it up for John Hartson, couldn't get through for the header. And a free kick given against him for some pushing. It was Hyypia and Riise who were the players in the way as John Hartson tried to get through for a header.
Again, not too much in that one. John Hartson's such a threat in the air. I think it was Riise again involved in that incident.
There's a fair bit of nail biting going on there among the Celtic supporters. It's a tense situation, this, with Celtic one step away from the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup. But we can't stress too much that they're playing a team here who've hit top form. Gerrard's crossfield pass to Smicer. Danny Murphy's first touch let him down. It might work out for Michael Owen. That's good defensive play from Neil Lennon. And then Mjallby takes it clear. You live on your nerves at times. And you have to get the big decisions right. And the merest fraction of a mistake at either end, you get the feeling, will bring about this game's opening goal.
There's so much quality in both forward lines that any mistake at all from the defenders, and you feel the ball will be in the back of the net. They give both teams lots of credit. They're both having a real go. I think Martin O'Neill will be delighted with the way his team's played, their attitude to the whole match, and they've shown in the first half they're capable of hurting Liverpool. And that's important because we keep saying they have to score a goal.
And when you think about the chances that have cropped up at either end here, it's amazing that the scoreline remains blank. And of course, 1-1 overall. Two minutes left of the first 45. And both Jerzy Dudek and Rob Douglas have been called into serious action. Heskey chests it down for Murphy. Danny Murphy was a teammate at Crewe in the past of Neil Lennon's. Riise loses it to Sylla, who then overruns it. And it's off Didi Hamann and out. And a lot of activity there on the Celtic bench. So much at stake here. If Celtic can get through, it would be the best and biggest result of Martin O'Neill's reign as Celtic manager. Good running from Gerrard, good challenge from Mjallby. Sylla. Larsson couldn't make it stick, but he was being fouled, and Celtic have a free kick, and this could be Alan Thompson territory.
That's a good decision from the referee. You can see it right away. Henrik Larsson. It's a good ball from Sylla, and Larsson was pulled back by Traore. What a good time to stick the ball in the back of the net.
It's right of centre, and Alan Thompson immediately positions himself as if to say, this is mine, I fancy this one. And he will certainly want to be testing out Jerzy Dudek as the first half comes to a close. Tense moments off the pitch and on it. Nearly 45 minutes played. Thompson! Celtic are ahead! Right on half-time! The deadly left foot of Alan Thompson does it! It's 2-1 on aggregate, Celtic ahead!
That's just what Celtic need. It's a marvellous strike from Alan Thompson. Dudek will be disappointed with his wall. The ball's going right through the wall, but Alan Thompson doesn't care about that. Martin O'Neill doesn't care about that. It's a good strike, it's underneath the wall, and it's right in the corner, giving the goalkeeper absolutely no chance whatsoever.
Jerzy Dudek stretched his arms wide as if to say, where was my wall? It disintegrated, and Alan Thompson's left foot shot went right through into the net. Celtic ahead. A stunning conclusion to the first half at Anfield. Alan Thompson's 5th goal of the season. He, of course, the man who gave Celtic the lead in Stuttgart in the last round of the competition. And again, he's struck gold, that time with his head, this time with his left foot. It's half-time at Anfield. And what a crucial goal that could prove to be from a man who used to ply his trade in the English Premiership. His goal has the Celtic fans on song. Henrik Larsson's free kick was tipped away by Jerzy Dudek early on. Good stop by the Polish international goalkeeper, and he has been busy. Riise's long throw for Liverpool, and a crunching volley from Gerrard, touched away by Rob Douglas. It was looking as if it was going to be goalless going into the half-time interval, despite the chances at either end. But after a quick little consultation outside the Liverpool penalty box, it always looked as if it was well set up for Alan Thompson on the right side of the pitch for him. But Dudek furious with the defensive wall, and you can understand why. Jos Valgaeren got himself involved. He tried to sow some seeds of doubt, but really the wall should have stood firm. As it was, Thompson's shot went straight through behind Dudek, and at half-time it's Celtic who have a priceless lead. It's Liverpool 0, Celtic 1. Liverpool aren't used to losing at Anfield. In fact, they went through a 20-year period unbeaten here in European games between 1973 and 1992, the great days of Phil Shankly, Bob Paisley, and up to the Kenny Dalglish era as well. A bit more fallible in the last 10 seasons or so, losing at home to Spartak Moscow, Brøndby, Celta Vigo, Roma, Barcelona, Valencia, but it still takes a bit of doing, especially when you consider the form that they're in at the moment. But a funny old season, Liverpool. First 12 Premiership matches unbeaten, went top, failed to win in the next 11 between November and January. But they're back in the last month or so, but trailing here to Celtic in their UEFA Cup quarter-final decider. Alan Thompson's late free kick was an absolute stunner for the home support. Liverpool look to respond. 2-1 the aggregate score. Larsson and Heskey in the first leg, and now Thompson here. It's 2-1 Celtic overall. And let's not forget that if Liverpool can equalise here, and that is the final score, if Alan Thompson's goal is cancelled out, then we might well be heading beyond the 90 minutes. Can you take the tension? Not sure we can. An early second half free kick given against Johan Mjallby. An early warning to Celtic that Liverpool mean business.
The next 10 minutes or so, Rob, are so important to Celtic. The next 45, they're going to have to defend well. Liverpool will throw everything at them. You shouldn't really give away free kicks in this type of area.
A minute after the restart, it's Danny Murphy, and Jos Valgaeren gets a good head to it. Helped on its way by Petrov. Carragher to Gerrard. In on the half volley, out comes Rob Douglas.
That's great goalkeeping. That takes the pressure right off his defenders. Big defenders, all defenders love it when their goalkeeper does that for them. Gives them so much confidence.
An offside against Henrik Larsson.
I just wonder, Rob, what Martin O'Neill was saying in the dressing room at half-time. The Celtic play the same way, or do they try to defend the lead? Celtic certainly play better when they're on the offensive, and hopefully they'll do that second half. But they've got to concentrate at the back.
Lennon's boot was high. Smicer got his head to it. The ball that was, not his boot. Hyypia, good pass. Michael Owen couldn't control it though. Petrov to Sylla. With that great run and shot late in the first half, which produced a good stop from Dudek. Lennon mishit the pass. Hamann was stretching to keep possession. Alongside him, Gerrard. A driven pass for Smicer. In goes Valgaeren with a strong challenge. Petrov to Hartson. John Hartson has had his first half chances. Almost Sylla for Henrik Larsson. Can he get control? Can he score? Disappointed with himself.
He's so unlucky. It's a marvellous ball from Sylla. Larsson staying on side. It's a good first touch, hard ball to take down, but this is where he's unlucky. It's good defending, and that time just didn't get the break, didn't get the second touch on target.
It was always going to be an awkward one to convert that for Henrik Larsson. And out came Dudek to cut down his options. Real quality on the pass from Sylla. And well, you saw the timing of the run from Larsson. It was perfection.
And the flag stayed down.
And Liverpool under pressure, and you can see that in Dudek's clearance, which was edgy.
They have to go forward now, they have to take chances. And when you've got someone like Henrik Larsson up against you, if they leave any gaps at the back and Celtic can find the space in the pass, he could kill the game off.
Lennon's careful header to Thompson. Heskey nips in before the return pass found its way. Valgaeren exchanges passes with Lambert, but Danny Murphy gets in front of him. And good work from Thompson. Good attacking work, good defensive work as well. And that's Celtic out of danger for the moment. Although they are hemmed in at the moment, but that's a throw-in, their throw-in, after a good work by Lennon in the midfield area.
It was good composure, Rob, defending. You know, it's easy just to panic and kick the ball away as far up the park as you can and give away possession. But Lennon recognised there was a pass on, kept the hold of the ball and settled things down.
Wonder what's happening among Gerrard, Hyypia, Phil Thompson and company. Here's Chick.
Phil Thompson's actually been out screaming at Steven Gerrard about his defensive duties, which maybe reflects the way this match is swinging now. And Martin O'Neill in this early stage of the second half has had nothing but applause for his team. He's been out really encouraging them, Rob. I talked about his early calm, that's right out the window now, of course.
Paul Lambert is hurt, and it's got to be something fairly serious before Paul Lambert stays down, you know that.
But there's certainly a free kick, good play from Paul Lambert. He looks really fit, really sharp, first to the ball that time, and that's why he picked up the knock. Martin O'Neill certainly won't want to lose Paul at this time of the game.
If you want to keep some control in the midfield area and make the most of Alan Thompson's first half goal, which was given for this free kick, the foul on Henrik Larsson by Jimmy Traore. A pull at his shirt, Sandy?
Yeah, certainly, absolutely no question about it. I was watching the play, watching the ball from Sylla up to Henrik Larsson, and I seen it right away. It was a pull back, and this is the result. You just wonder about the wall there, Rob. You know, they're trying to jump up to top the ball, to stop the ball going in the top corner. I just wonder if Alan Thompson meant that, recognised that if he kept the ball low, it might just sneak in.
Jos Valgaeren played his part in the wall as well. Mjallby's free kick, and the word is that Lambert's okay. That word has reached the Celtic technical area. And Paul Lambert can come back into the fray, and when you're looking to keep what you've got and maybe push on and get another goal, you want that Lennon-Lambert axis in midfield. One of the quarter-finals, of course, settled already. Lazio are through, so they've taken place number 1 in the last 4. Sylla, Henrik Larsson, and well, you got the feeling he took too long there, Henrik Larsson, to make up his mind. He first on his left side, then he turned it back onto his right, and he was well off target. And Martin O'Neill certainly isn't used to the sight of Henrik Larsson missing the target.
It was a good break again from Celtic. Sylla again heavily involved in. Martin O'Neill, it was a wise selection tonight, the way that Sylla's played the game so far.
Just over 7 minutes gone since the restart. Steven Gerrard's run, tries to release Heskey, felt he was being fouled by Mjallby, but the referee was very close to make the judgment, and he said no, play on. Liverpool not happy about the decision, but they have the ball back now with Michael Owen. Good run from Gerrard, good save by Rob Douglas. Valgaeren heads it away. There's Mjallby, there's Hamann, there's Owen. And finally, it's good composure on the ball from Alan Thompson, which wins the free kick. Some respite for Celtic, and a brilliant stop this by Douglas.
It's so important Balde trying to play offside, doesn't get it right, but Rab Douglas sharp off his line, kept his eye on the ball, made the block. It's a great run from Gerrard, but Rab Douglas was very much up for it, and that's a marvellous save from the big goalkeeper.
How quickly was the Celtic keeper off his line and right out to the edge of the area, and by the time Gerrard pulled the trigger, the Celtic keeper was right upon him. Gerrard set up by Owen's pass. That's a free kick against Hamann. Obstruction against Petrov. As I remind you of the man of the match telephone number, 0900 10 225. You could be heading for Vilnius courtesy of Safeway to watch Lithuania against Scotland, complete with a state-of-the-art mobile phone. Thompson's free kick. Hyypia got his head to it, but it's only as far as Sylla. Tried to thread the pass through. Liverpool readying Milan Baros for action. They have to have a go, because at the moment, the way the score is, with plenty of time left of course, it's Celtic who are heading for the semi-finals. Smicer taking a long time before making his mind up on what to do with the ball, and by then Alan Thompson was right on top of Jamie Carragher.
Good play there from Lennon as well, closing Smicer down, giving him no time to lift his head and play the pass. That's the way Celtic have to continue for the next 36 minutes or so. They've got to keep working hard, keep their concentration and defend well.
That's great attacking of the ball from Balde. Heskey was waiting for it, he wasn't. Gerrard's header, and Hamann was always chasing. It was an awkward one. And Liverpool want to make their change. Smicer is off, and another Czech Republic international comes on, and it's the 21-year-old Milan Baros, who's scored 9 times already this season, and Liverpool hope he can help get them back into the game.
I'm sure that's the idea. It's a striker for a midfield player, so Gerrard Houllier, no question what he's trying to do now.
Balde covering across and missed his kick completely. And that's a corner kick.
The bone spell for Celtic. The crowd are now fully behind Liverpool. They're trying to up the pace a little bit, trying to put Celtic under lots of pressure. And now's the time not to panic. Keep working hard, make sure you do the right things, pick the right options.
Celtic are going to make a change as well shortly. Riise's corner kick, headed away by Hartson. Paul Lambert, I think, is going to be the player to come off, having taken a knock earlier on. He's not moving freely, and Jackie McNamara will be the player to come on. Riise's back heel. Gerrard, Thompson comes to meet him, and that was better from Celtic. It didn't give Steven Gerrard an awful lot of time to size up the shot.
Good defending, good closing down the middle of the park. We know Gerrard's got a decent shot. If you give him time, they'll hit the target. Celtic working very hard. It's so important to keep that going now. It'll be a sad loss if Paul Lambert has to go off. But Jackie McNamara, there's no question, he's more than an able replacement, experienced player.
Celtic fans preparing to party, and the Liverpool fans still hoping the celebration might be theirs. But at the moment it's glum faces. 1 down at Anfield, 2-1 down overall. Celtic penalised.
I'm amazed at that again, Rob. John Hart's is in between 2 Liverpool players. Hyypia wins the header well. I just don't see where the infringement was at all.
Heskey's header, controlled it, back to Carragher. Jimmy Traore. Back with Gerrard, drove the pass straight at Petrov. Thompson. Paul Lambert might be his last involvement. Neil Lennon with both Murphy and Heskey closing him down, but he got his pass away. Valgaeren overruns it. Hamann intercepts. Heskey, the red shirts flooding forward. One of them's Hamann, but he won't catch that.
Just too much in the pass that time for Hamann, but that was a lucky break for Celtic. Lennon stuck in no man's land. Closed down, giving the ball away. Useful Hamann cleared up the danger. Then he elected to give the ball away. That's the type of thing Celtic don't need. But I'm sure Lennon, that won't happen too often with him.
McNamara was stripped for action. Now he's got his tracksuit top back on. Is McNamara coming on, Chick?
It's a definite maybe, Rob, to be honest with you. But what happened was that Matt Neil had a bit of a debate with the backroom staff, Brian Scott in particular. I think they're going to give Lambert just another couple of minutes, see if he can run this off.
Balde's up at the back post for this Thompson free kick. Skims off the head of Heskey. And out for a throw.
Just watching Paul Lambert moving at the moment. He certainly looks a lot more free than he did a few minutes ago, so hopefully from Celtic's point of view he's going to make a recovery.
Petrov gets to the byline, whips the ball in. It was a dangerous one. It came off first Hyypia, then Riise, and it's a Celtic corner.
Good play from Stallion Petrov. It's so important Celtic try and play in the Liverpool half. When the ball goes forward, they've got to try and keep possession, take the pressure off the defenders.
Just the sort of position from which he actually scored, of course, at Celtic Park against Stuttgart. Thompson's left foot in swinger, John Hartson waiting. Out comes Dudek, and claims it under a fair bit of pressure. That's terrific work from Sylla. Celtic look to have a problem, but he's given it away, Sylla now, to Gerrard. Dangerous ball in. Well, Celtic taking liberties. They left it and Baros kept it in.
Sylla making a mistake initially. I don't think Brad Douglas knows whether to come and try and catch this one or not. Looks out from this angle. But thankfully for Celtic, Brad Douglas picked it up.
Larsson. The pass was behind Sylla. It's won by Hyypia. Steven Gerrard looking for Baros. Well cut out. Sylla's angled pass for John Hartson. Good jump from Traore. Defended that well, the young Frenchman. Hamann trying to rule the roost in the midfield. There was a hand and a free kick to Liverpool. Given against Petrov.
I'm just watching Sylla at the moment, Rob. He's maybe just a bit too willing to go forward. There's a gap in behind him, and it's maybe more important he just sits and makes sure there's no space there for Liverpool to hurt Celtic.
A rash challenge from Thompson gives Liverpool a free kick. He flung himself in at the back of Heskey.
Good play from Heskey. Alan Thompson acknowledges there's a free kick there, doesn't make contact with the ball.
Hyypia for Liverpool, up at the edge of the area, alongside Gerrard, Owen, Heskey. In from Murphy, it was a poor free kick. Paul Lambert was able to head it clear. Hamann, Carragher. Heskey's lay off, Murphy, Baros, good challenge from Balde, that took the sting out of it. And the second attempt from the Czech didn't really carry any great power.
Great defender from Celtic, Hugo Balde especially, lots of bodies in there. The Baros looks dangerous.
Larsson's knocked down for Thompson. Lambert. And Lennon. Mjallby has a look at what's on, lofts it forward for his countryman Larsson, and that's not a bad effort from Paul Lambert. Less than fully fit, Lambert, but not a bad strike.
It's a good effort, but if he just looks here, John Hartson's on his left-hand side, acres of space. It's different if the ball ends up in the back of the net, but John Hartson won't be too happy with Paul Lambert there.
Lambert's goal, of course, began the comeback against Stuttgart in Glasgow. 1-0 down, his goal squared the game, and from there Celtic went on to win 3-1 and build the foundations for their advancement to these quarter-finals, where they are 2-1 up on aggregates, 1-0 ahead on the night at Anfield. And if you've just joined us, where have you been firstly? And I can tell you Alan Thompson's goal separates these two. Hartson stopped by Hyypia, gets the break of the ball though and loses it again. Nope, finds its way through to Sylla. That was off Riise. Murphy, and it's beyond Gerrard. Signs of frustration there.
I think it's the fact, Rob, that Celtic are working so hard. You know, they're denying Liverpool time and space as far up the park as possible. The defenders are not being allowed to lift their head and play through the middle of the park, and that's why Celtic are having a good spell at the moment.
Let's find out from Chick what Martin O'Neill and John Robertson and Steve Walford are saying down in that technical area.
Well, they've had another debate about Paul Lambert. I think for the time going, him being that he's going to have to stay where he is. Also, Gerrard has been out, urging his troops not to sit in. Knicks are sitting in too deep, pulling them out. But really, Rob, the way Celtic are playing, they're pushing on and giving Liverpool a real problem.
Jimmy Traore had a problem there with Sylla's cross. Didn't go for a corner, it did go for a throw. Up goes the flag, and Stilian Petrov looks bemused.
I think it's actually Paul Lambert that was offside. I'm not sure if Stilian Petrov actually played the ball to him there. But Martin O'Neill's got to be a happy man. His team are playing well.
He'll be happier when he hears the final whistle. So will these Celtic supporters, and I'm sure so will a lot of you at home. It could be a twitchy 25 minutes or so between now and the final whistle, and Liverpool will give it everything to try and keep themselves alive in Europe. Heskey! A rush of blood at the key moment for Emil Heskey.
The technique's all wrong. Gets a break of the ball here with useful Hamann. Goes onto his left foot. He's got time and space to try to curl it to the back post. That lifts his head, draws his leg back, and really technically all wrong. That's why it ends up miles over the crossbar.
Liverpool's most expensive signing, £11 million from Leicester City, and of course he learnt his trade there under a certain Martin O'Neill. And in his time, Heskey's picked up 30 England caps. He's only 25. But just 8 goals this season for Heskey, and I guess a player of his ability, that's not enough. Danny Murphy trying his best to keep possession, but he's under a lot of pressure from both Larsson and Sylla. Dudek's clearance, good control from Baros. Murphy switches from left to right, finds Jimmy Carragher. Michael Owen, and good rescue work from Neil Lennon covering in behind Balde. Baros again, but the ball was lost under his feet and out, and a little bit of respite for Celtic. As I remind you of the Safeway Man of the Match telephone number, 0900 10 225. How do you fancy going to Vilnius for Lithuania against Scotland? Complete with just about the best mobile phone you can get your hands on at the moment. Picture messaging included in its many functions. And a fantastic stay in Lithuania to go with it. All you have to do is guess what's going on in Sandy's head, and that, would confess, is a major problem for you. Thompson kept it in. Well, he's going to get a yellow card, Alan Thompson. Not for this one particularly, but for a series of offences. It's yellow for Thompson.
There's been a few, just a fraction late here. Heskey gets to the ball first. Alan makes contact with him, tackle from the back. Easy one for the referee.
Stilian Petrov is the player Celtic don't want booked, if at all possible, tonight, if they're to go through, because he's on 2 yellows already, and another one would see him miss the semi-final should Celtic be in it. Don't tempt fate. Baros, good turn, good skill, good close control. Looking up towards the referee for the free kick. No joy. Here's Baros again, taking up a menacing position. Gets beyond Balde, the cutback is dangerous, but it's Sylla there for Celtic. He's been a lively presence as Baros, since coming on as a substitute from Liverpool. He's given them that extra dimension in attack. Hamann. Celtic have a free kick. A push on Petrov.
Good defender from Stilian Petrov here. Gets himself the right side of the ball, between the ball and the attacker. Hamann certainly pulling them back. The Celtic have actually defended very well in the last few minutes. They're having to defend well. Baros is very, very quick. We'll see Baros' pace here. Going beyond Balde. But lots of Celtic bodies inside that 6-yard box, 18-yard box. Sylla not panicking again.
If Sylla hadn't been there, Petrov was, as Baros took the ball back. It looked promising for Liverpool. And don't forget, there's more live football coming your way on Sunday afternoon on the BBC. It's Dunfermline against Rangers in the quarter-finals of the Tennent's Scottish Cup. Rangers at East End Park, the Premier League leaders with their eyes on a domestic treble. Hyypia, who scored Liverpool's goal against Auxerre in France, won both legs against the French team to get here. Thompson, the only goal scorer at Anfield so far. Played it down the line looking for the run of Larsson, but the flag goes up against Celtic's top scorer.
He was certainly offside. The concern for me there, Rob, is when Thompson was in possession of the ball, Larsson was the only one he could find. John Hart's is maybe struggling just a little bit fitness-wise in this moment in time. He's worked very hard and looks just a little bit tired. It's maybe an area that Martin O'Neill has to have a look at.
That's good play again from Sylla. He watched that pass all the way over the goal line as John Riise behind him was desperate to get at it. The Celtic fans know that it's not going to be plain sailing between now and full time. And there's another yellow card for Celtic. This time the referee thinks Rob Douglas has taken too long to get the goal kick taken.
I don't agree with that one either, Rob. Riise has went and collected the ball. He's put it at one side of the 6-yard box, but the goalkeeper has the option of playing the ball from anywhere across the 6-yard box, so he's entitled to go and place the ball on the opposite side and take his kick out from there. I think the referee's reacted to the crowd.
The referee making his mark, not for the first time. Ooh. Traore to Carragher. And back to Dudek. Gerrard's pass, and Michael Owen didn't know an awful lot about it as it spun off him and out. Now, I spoke about that trip to Vilnius. Of course, Scotland play Lithuania in Kaunas, but you'll be staying in Vilnius should you win the big prize, courtesy of Safeway. You'd have to be off your trolley not to enter that competition. Larsson against Traore. Larsson working so hard, working his way back to full match sharpness, you would have to think, but then let's hear from Chick.
Yeah, Paul Lambert's finished now, Rob. He's just given a nod to the bench that he can't go on. The change will be made. Jackie McNamara has been told to get the gear off again as quick as they possibly can. Paul Lambert, he's really struggling with the left thigh muscle now.
Larsson already reaching for the captain's armband. And he's going to hand it to Johan Mjallby. And Paul Lambert, the Scotland skipper, the Celtic skipper, heading off. And Celtic will miss him for the last 17 minutes or so. But Jackie McNamara has come into the central midfield role before, and he hasn't really let Martin O'Neill down.
Jackie will be fine in there, absolutely no problems whatsoever. The middle three from Celtic in the middle of the park have been very efficient tonight. Neil Lennon's playing as well as he's played for a long time. Lambert was exceptional. Unfortunate with injury.
That's off Hyypia. Celtic have a corner. And they can go looking now for a second goal, which would make them breathe a little easier, if that's possible in this sort of atmosphere. Hartson waits. In from Petrov, but he failed to get it beyond Gerrard. Out it goes again, and still in. Petrov can try again. Over Balde, a couple of yards from Jerzy Dudek. That's Larsson's header! Touched over the top by Dudek. Good reactions, it was a clever header.
It's a great corner kick, lots of pace in the ball. What a flick from Henrik Larsson. Glad off his shoulder, and Jerzy Dudek having to stretch to get a touch to that one.
When I said it was a clever header, it was so clever it was his shoulder.
I bet you both would think it was a good save from the keeper. There's no way the defender on the line would have kept that one out.
Thompson looks to get this right into the danger area. Hyypia's there, powered it clear. And John Arne Riise is after it. That's a good header from Neil Lennon. Well judged. Thompson's cross beyond Traore, and he can let it go. Mjallby gave it his best shot to try to get there. But the clock is ticking, and 15 minutes to go, plus any stoppage time to be added.
The good thing, Rob, Celtic still look a threat going forward. Set pieces are very dangerous. And they've got enough quality in the team to play passes and work opportunities.
Thompson off Heskey. And that's heading out.
He's played well tonight. How vital, how crucial could that goal be?
He's a big game player, isn't he, Sandy? He does well in Old Firm matches, does well in European ties, as well as all the other games that are so important to Martin O'Neill. And of course he's gone out of one competition in terms of the CIS final last Sunday, but Celtic's still alive in 3 different competitions, and they would love to think that they go into tomorrow's draw in Switzerland for the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup. When you think it was 1974 when they were in the last 4 of a European tournament. It would rewrite those record books, and it would make John Hartson feel happy. Still hurting, presumably, from his penalty miss against Rangers at the weekend. Adams' throw. Hartson's header. Free kick is given against him. And I don't think he likes the decision.
I don't think he does, and I feel for him. We know John Hartson's very aggressive, but there's so many decisions went against him tonight.
It slipped under the boot of Murphy. Petrov's there. McNamara fires it away off Hamann. Murphy. Carragher. Danny Murphy again. Jackie McNamara trying to get to him. Gerrard against Lennon. And twice Neil Lennon stood firm. Murphy. And that's away. That will suit Celtic nicely from Emil Heskey. Didn't get that right at all.
A good defender again from Celtic. I just keep looking, Rob, at Gerald Hyypia there. You've got to be saying to himself, how am I going to break down this defence? The 5 across the back are playing very well. The 3 in the middle of the park are denying space. They're all getting behind the ball, making life so difficult for them, and it's really hard to break that down.
44,238, a full house at Anfield for Liverpool against Celtic, the decider. The Scottish reigning champions, 1-0 ahead on the night, 2-1 up on aggregate, and we've played nearly 78 minutes. Riise to Hamann. Now it's Jimmy Traore. Emil Heskey with Jos Valgaeren for company. Celtic asking questions of Liverpool. Can they find a way through? Jamie Carragher, that's a clever pass for Danny Murphy against Johan Mjallby, and Ralph Douglas comes to get it, and that was experienced defending from Mjallby.
It was brilliant defending. That was a real good run there from Murphy. Johan Mjallby showed all his experience here, reads it exceptionally well, uses his body just to keep the Liverpool player away from it, and Ralph Douglas does the rest.
Murphy didn't like the challenge, but that was because it denied him the chance of having a shot at the Celtic goal. Murphy hustled into making a mistake, and I didn't think that was a foul by Stilian Petrov, but Marcus Merck did.
It's very soft. Stilian Petrov, he's annoyed at that one. There may have been the slightest bit of contact, but not enough for a free kick.
That's good ball winning from Bobo Balde against Milan Baros. Now Larsson, and well, that's not like him.
Poor first touch. You can't say that very often about Henrik Larsson. He's got to be just a little bit tired now, but the one thing about Henrik, he'll keep going, he'll keep working away.
Almost into the last 10 minutes at Anfield. Alan Thompson's goal separates these two on the night. Can Liverpool score to take it into extra time? Can Celtic keep their lead? Foul against Larsson. Gerrard in a hurry. In so much of a hurry that Milan Baros was offside.
He was offside. Good play from Bobo Balde. I've got to say, Rob, I've been really impressed tonight with Celtic's tactics. Every single player out there, when they don't have the ball, they know exactly what their job is. They know what they've got to do. They know where to run, where to move, when to stay up the field, when to drop back. And it's worked very, very well for McNamara so far.
Phil Thompson there has won a few medals in his time, including a couple of European Cups and the UEFA Cup as well, alongside Gerrard Hyypia. Hartson, the 1-2 with Larsson. John Hartson lines up the shot! John Hartson with the goal, which surely takes Celtic to the UEFA Cup semi-finals. A wonderful strike! Celtic now, surely out of sight.
That's magnificent. It's the only way you can describe that. John Hartson should have had a free kick a few seconds ago, but didn't worry about that. That's great play with Larsson. Only one thought in his mind here: I'm going to stick this in the back of the net. And he does that so well. He keeps his head down, he strikes through the ball, lots of power on it, and whack. Dudek, absolutely no chance of getting anywhere near that one.
He did well to get a good view of this Jerzy Dudek. It was struck with such power, reminiscent of the one which beat Stefan Klos in the Old Firm match recently. And what a sweet moment for John Hartson after his missed penalty on Sunday. That will do nicely for him. That will do nicely for Celtic. 2-0 up, 3-1 ahead. And it's going to take the most monumental comeback now from Liverpool if they're to deny Celtic a place in the semi-finals. Then Liverpool have to score 3 times.
I think it's all over, Rob. You've got to say Celtic deserve the victory. Second half especially, they played so well. The first goal was always going to be so important. The second half have defended exceptionally well.
And none better than Johan Mjallby. What a brilliant bit of defending that was. As Milan Baros threatened, he looked as if he had a real chance of pulling a goal back, but that was not allowing for the superb reading of the game from Mjallby. The Liverpool fans are heading for the exit, some of them already. They reckon their team's out, and it would be difficult to disagree with that view. Celtic still with some work to do, but that John Hartson goal has surely now prodded Celtic towards the last 4. Sylla across behind Larsson, who's giving it his best shot to get after it. Gerrard's pass picks out the run of Baros. Across comes Bobo Balde, no doubt in his mind, so decisive. and how has he grown as a player?
He's been a colossus again tonight, as has every Celtic player, none better than that man there. I said a little while ago he looked tired. I didn't have proved me wrong there, the way he worked that little 1-2, worked the opening, and what a great finish.
It's that time of the evening when you have a little glance up at the clock every so often, and it's not as twitchy as it was at 1-0. You now feel as if you can say with a fair bit of certainty that Celtic are going to march on in this competition. They beat Blackburn Rovers, they beat Celta Vigo, they beat Stuttgart, 3 top-class teams, but none in the class of Liverpool the way they've been playing recently. 2-0 it was at Ewood Park, and this more than matches that performance. 2-0 against Liverpool. Sylla's cross headed away by Hyypia. First there, Danny Murphy. I wonder what Martin O'Neill's made of all this, Chick.
He's still not convinced her through. He's wanting the players to run the ball into the corner to use up time. The players have been showboating a little bit, as I've seen the last couple of minutes, Rob. They might get another change just to break it up. In fact, Jimmy Smith is going to be introduced into play. There's that goal again from John Hart's, a tremendous strike, and the Celtic fans saluting him. But Smith is coming on, and Celtic will break it up with the next stop and play, Rob.
I wonder if Martin O'Neill beat his all-comers record there for leaving the ground. He was up at a fair old height as John Hartson thumped home that second Celtic goal.
Is that what you call being on a high?
He was certainly high. I think he will be for some time to come.
He should be as well. I'll tell you what, Rob, you picked the man of the match tonight.
Oh no, that's what you pick up the handsome salary for.
Careful.
That's Thompson, who scored Celtic's first from the free kick right at the end of the first half. What a good time to score. It put pressure on Liverpool. It asked questions of Liverpool. Were they able to respond? Answer no. And that John Hartson strike has given Celtic bags of belief that they're heading for the semi-final draw. Snapshot from Baros, too high.
It's a good effort. It would be a consolation if that happened at this time in the game. But Baros, good play, good control of the ball, decent effort. But Rob Douglas, I think, had it covered.
Substitution, leaving the field in the 3
Celtic want to make another change, and this is more about wasting some time rather than anything else, as Momo Sylla gives way. He's made a big contribution tonight. He's done well. It's been a while since we've seen him starting in the first team. Last month was his last game in the first 11. Jamie Smith, who started the first leg, as his replacement.
Jamie's maybe more an attacking type of player, so it's maybe just a little bit of an unusual substitution. Momo Sylla's defending exceptionally well tonight, and that's maybe a part of his game that isn't his strongest.
Good play from Thompson, polished performance from him yet again. When it matters most, who's your man of the match?
There's a few contenders, all in green and white jerseys. I've got to say, every single Celtic player have played exceptionally well, but you know me, Rob, often it's all about goals. You have to score goals to win games, and the first goal for Alan Thompson was so important, and apart from that, he's played exceptionally well, so he's my safe way man of the match.
Here's Danny Murphy, Balde in the way. There's Lennon and Petrov. Good touch, good control. Bad challenge from Gerrard. Free kick. So if you chose Alan Thompson as your man of the match, then you have a chance of winning the big prize. You could be heading to Lithuania with Scotland, and these Celtic supporters will go anywhere to follow their team, and they'll find out tomorrow exactly where they're going in the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup. What an achievement. Because Liverpool looked a class act in the first half. They threatened to score several times. Celtic held out, and they've gone on from there to score twice. Thompson and Hartson. 2.5 minutes left of regulation time, 2 minutes to be added. Celtic 4.5 minutes from one massive party. Here's Baros, and that's heading out. And it's all fizzling out for Liverpool, who went in here with high hopes, and you can see it written all over the faces of their supporters. They thought they built the foundations in Glasgow last week, to move forward, but they've got little to smile about, and it's those with green and white scarves who are going to be smiling at full time here.
I don't think, Rob, that Liverpool have played badly. I think Celtic deserve lots of credit for, first of all, stemming the tide, and then totally getting the tactical side 100% right.
The midfield area has been so crucial to Celtic. They were outplayed a lot of the time at Celtic Park last week, but Neil Lennon and company have really performed superbly here tonight.
There's no question about that, and I think the fact that Paul Lambert, who didn't start the game last week, he's also had a massive influence in this game tonight, played a real captain's part. I'm sure we'd still be on the field to play if it wasn't for that injury.
Jimmy Smith just content to keep the ball and frustrate Liverpool, and on the instructions of his manager, I'm sure he's heading into the corner flag, and John Arne Riise has to try to prod it away from him. We're inside the 90th minute now at Anfield, and look at that happy scoreline in the top corner. 2-0 Celtic, 3-1 overall. Smith's cutback turned away by Hyypia, and Jimmy Smith lets it go, and Liverpool know they're beaten. Michael Owen and company have given it their all, but they know they're heading out.
Owen looked so sharp first half. The Celtic have certainly managed to handle him second half. We'll hardly mention his name, he's hardly been in the game, and that's all down to the Celtic back three.
A hefty challenge on Jamie Smith, born of a fair bit of frustration. It's a free kick to Celtic, and more time passing. The 2 minutes to be added will start in 5 seconds. Petrov's free kick, and Larsson's flashing near post header goes wide.
Good effort from Henrik Larsson. Johan Mjallby still got the energy to get him down the field in the last few minutes of the match. I think when you get 2 goals off and you're playing as well as Celtic are playing, you find some extra energy, don't you?
Good challenge from Smith on Baros. What are your impressions, Sandy, of the way this match has ebbed and flowed?
It's been a marvellous match. I think both teams deserve lots of credit. A 1-each scoreline meant that Celtic obviously had to score a goal, so they had to have a go. Liverpool playing at home, you always expect them to attack and play well. And it's been a credit to every single player out there. It's been played in a great spirit. Thoroughly enjoyed by everyone for most of the match, especially from the Celtic fans' point of view.
Emil Heskey hasn't been able to find a way past Rob Douglas, whose only previous European clean sheet away from home was at Blackburn. 2-0 it was then, 2-0 it is now at another Premiership ground, and John Hartson's second goal here has put Celtic away from Liverpool and into the draw in Switzerland tomorrow, and we'll all wait on tenterhooks to find out where Celtic are heading next. Will this European campaign, I wonder, take them all the way to Seville? The final in Spain in May. Celtic are through to the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup with another outstanding performance, masterminded by Martin O'Neill. Alan Thompson scored at the end of the first half. John Hartson thumped in the second to make sure that Celtic were heading to their first European semi-final in nearly 30 years. The last time it was the European Cup, they lost to Atletico Madrid. That was 1974. The record books have been rewritten here on Merseyside. Liverpool aren't used to losing on their home patch, but Celtic deserve all they've got at Anfield. They've taken a Liverpool team to pieces, and it's Celtic whose European campaign continues. Roll on the draw in Switzerland tomorrow. 2-0 on the night for Celtic, 3-1 overall.